What's up, y'all? Christian Sam back again, and today I'm here to walk y'all through how to stop the run in College Football 26. A lot of people struggle with stopping the run in College Football 26 and really Madden, any kind of football game, because one, it's really about knowing gaps, right? And when I tell y'all knowing gaps, you have to understand football. A lot of people kind of like to say, oh, this game's not realistic, oh, it's fake. Well, one thing I do like, and I've always told y'all in some of my videos, is that they made this game as realistic as possible. So understanding gaps, gap placement, right? Switching gaps, that matters when you want to stop the run, if you want to be able to stop the run. Too many times I'm seeing guys line up in mid blitz or walk two backers in the A gap, and then they get gashed on a stretch play or a power play, a gap scheme play, and they just don't understand what happened. Well, if you have two guys in A gap and I'm going off tackle, they're going to get caught in the wash. It's going to be hard for them, even though they're on. You have 6 on the line of scrimmage. It's where they're at and where they're being placed and how they're getting displaced out of their gap. And I'm running to make sure they aren't part of the running scheme. And today I'm going to show you all that today in the video I'm going to make. So the first thing is understanding what defense you're in, right? Some people like 3-4, some people like 3-3-5, some people like 4-2-5. Me, I like nickel's my base. Right now, if somebody comes out in like a big personnel, like 21, 22, 23, right? Goal line, like stuff like that, I'll adjust. I'll get in the base, or I'll get into a 4-2-5 with bigger bodies, right? I'll put a safety at nickel, deep my bigger, strong guys at D tackle with high strength. If I have a good end, I'll keep them there, obviously. I'll try to put as many safeties and bigger bodies on the field as possible if I want to stay in that 4-2-5 and they come out in like a 21-12, 23 set, right? But for the most part, if I see a 23 set, right, I'm probably going to come out in base or goal line. And when I say 23-12, guys, you have to understand the first number is going to tell you how many running backs are on the field. The second number is how many tight ends. And then from there, you can gauge, obviously there's only 11 people on the field, how many receivers on the field. So here, I'm a nickel guy. So I know I said 4-2-5 earlier. This is, in my opinion, 3-3 overs. It's 4-2-5. Here, they're just kind of saying, hey, there's 3 linebackers and 3 linemen, right? And one of these roll down guys, or not roll down, ends on the line of scrimmage, right, is an OLB, but it's an end to me. So I'm going to call it, even though it says 3-3 over, it's 4-2-5 in my book, right? Based on the person I'm going to put out there, I'm going to put 4 ends on the field, 2 backers, and 5 DBs. So I'm going to make it a 4-2-5. So here we're going to start with a basic inside zone play out of cover 3. I've spoken earlier in my videos of why I like cover 3 is because I have more people in the box, where I have 1 high safety and I have a loaded box. Really, you can call it's really a 6-man box, but it's some formations it can turn into a 7-man box if that safety's rolled down because the tight end is attached to the core. And when I say attached to the core, I mean he's in line next to the tackle. He's not detached outside as looking like a receiver. He's in line with the O-lineman, right? So that brings the safety in. So now we have a 7-man box, which is amazing for the run. Earlier when I spoke on understanding and knowing gap assignments, that is key in stopping the run. You can't just be out there running around just trying to make plays, because it's not going to work if you're playing a skilled opponent. So here I'm just going to walk y'all through the gaps and where everybody has. And obviously you could change this based on stunts, shifting the line over, stunning the line over. Like you could shift who has what gap based on, what you do with your D lineman, right? We can get into that later. Base standard, day 1 install, if you want to know how to stop the run. You have to understand this end, he's contained, right? He's forced, right? Nothing should be getting outside of him. So on the snap, as you see, inside zone, this tackle is going to try to get him out the way, right? He's trying to create this gap right here, and he wants to kind of turn him out, right? Like you want to turn him out. So obviously ball's not going outside, so that's cooked, right? But what we don't like right here is this, right? There's levels in the defense, right? There's creases, right? Playing for Bill, he always used to say, create a fence and do not let the dog out the fence. Right here, the dog is getting out the fence, right? And understand this, when you're on defense, you need to know this because it looks like no one's going to block you. Some people might think the guard's going to block you. No, this receiver, right? Understanding who's going to block you is key in beating that person to the spot or beating him there, blowing him up and making the play, right? And that's real football, just real football. So here, obviously, we know this receiver is going to block us, right? There's no one else to block us if he doesn't, right? The slot has the nickel. One receiver has the corner. He's got us. There's no one else to block us. But we'll get to that later, right? So understand the gaps, right? We have our nose right here. Call this a shade. He has the A gap. The A gap is accounted for. Our 3 tech, he has this B gap. And again, our end, he has force contain, right? The safety has secondary contain, because he's the curl flat defender. He has the flat. He is secondary force. If this end gets, for some reason, reached, this safety has to go contain force. Again, we'll get to that later. We want to speak about the direct run at us. If you're in this backer position, this is where I start. I know this receiver is coming to block me. So on a snap, if I see run right here now, we got to go trigger. There's nothing to wait for, because you know this guy has contain. He has secondary force because he's the curl flat on the strong side of the formation. The nickel is. We got to go trigger, right? If it opens up like that, you got to come trigger. Especially if they're hanging on this double on the shade, we got to come get this double off of him. Like this backer's got to come down, right? Because what's going on is they're big eyeing this backer. Those two right there, that center and that guard, they're big eyeing him. So as soon as he comes down, boom. The center's going to come off. He's going to get him, right? That's why and that's real life. That's really what as backers, we're taught that you need to come get this double off these D linemen, right? D linemen will hate you if you don't do that. Like they will despise you if you don't get this double off of them. You got 600 pounds of human flesh moving. That's hard. That's hard on them, right? Come get this double off of them. Boom. Now we know, okay, that fence is sealed. Here, right, you wait this long, you're going to give him possession to come do this, to come try to dig you out, all right? He's trying to get you out of there. He's not, his job is not to even try to, he's a receiver, right? He's not going to block you for long. Just get in your way, right? And that just creates a crease, right? Now this dog can get out the fence. Don't do that, right? I'm going to show you what you need to do on a run play like this. So here, like I told you, you need to be able to understand and diagnose plays quick. Right, if you know your opponent likes to run inside zone, likes inside zone in certain formations, right? Your opponent, like I always tell y'all, has a tendency. As the game goes on, you need to pick up on those tendencies. They like certain runs that they like. There's certain passes they like. There's certain runs they like out of certain formations. Certain passes they like out of certain formations. That is your job to pick that up. That's nobody else's job. That's not EA. That's not your friend next to you. That's not your mom downstairs in the living room. That is your job. So pick that up, right? And so if you know your opponent likes to run inside zone out of trips or tray, whatever, doubles, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they run it out of. Understand when they like to run it and make the play, and understand who's going to block you, right? I just told y'all who has what gap. So now that you understand that should help you understand how to stop this quicker, right? You know this three receiver is going to try to beat you to the spot and dig you out of there to give that running back a lane to run, right? As he creases last time. Now you're going to see what happens when you beat him to the spot, right? Because on offense, everyone is designed, there's a one-on-one, right? Blowing up the blocker, they're doing their job because you now had to take the time to blow them up, and now the blocker had time to escape. So here, right, it's clear, right? Go make the play. On a snap, we see run, beat him, right? And that's why I like this game. That's real. Dip, look at him dip. Dip under that block. He whiffs, there's no one else to block you. There is no one else. And look at the fence. The fence we're clear, right? He's in real life, he's a little toward the field, but it's a video game, right? He's probably not as strong. He's not strong enough to really go against this tackle, right? But we don't need him that. Rich can keep contained, keep force. Do not let this back bounce outside. We have a fence right here, right? It's not the prettiest fence, but we have a fence. And it's cloudy for this running back. There's nowhere to go, right? We have our Mike who came downhill and got that double off. Right, so now he can stand stout and not move anymore, right? Stay there, don't move. Don't get pushed anymore, right? He's not doing a great job, but that's personnel. You can't do nothing about that, right? This guard probably just stronger than him. That D tackle, the shade is just not as strong, right? But again, he's not getting blown off the ball, but he's not getting any penetration either. So here, right, as the user, we took the courtesy to take it upon ourselves to go make this play. Boom, nowhere to go, right? You don't need to get in the mid blitz. You don't need to get in the base to stop the run. Just understand the defense, right? And the gap scheme and who has what and what you have. Really what you have too as well, right? That's the most important part. Because if you don't know where you're supposed to fit, well, you're going to be fitting everywhere. And where you were supposed to be, you might not be there. And now that's a 20-yard gain and we're all wondering what happened. It's your fault, right? Pre-snap, we see his run. Obviously, I know his run, but this is how I'm thinking pre-snap when I'm playing somebody, my opponent, right? I know who blocks me, right? So if it is run, I know where I need to go fit. I have this B gap. I got to go fit in that B gap if it opens up. So as soon as it opens up, I got to go trigger. Boom. I got to go, right? And it's a race to that B gap. He's trying to get to that B gap, this receiver. I'm trying to get to that B gap. The running back's trying to get to the B gap. Who's going to win, right? Go win. Go into that B gap. Go into your gap. It might not be the B gap. Next time it might be the A gap. Next time it might be the alley, the C gap, right? Just win your gap. Do your job, right? Make the play. TFL. The next run play, stretch. I mean, this people have been spamming stretch. I mean, as far as Madden, I mean, you know, people have been spamming stretch for a long time because it's an effective run play. If you know how to run it, if you know how to read it, and if the person you're playing doesn't understand what stretch is, right? Stretch, yes, I understand on the diagram, it looks like it's supposed to go outside. It's not a toss. Stretch is designed to cut back based off the defense's over pursuit angles, right? If you're one of those guys who just, well, I'm gonna go meet him where he's at. No, don't meet him where he's at. Meet him where he's going. Don't meet him where he's at. Meet him where he's going. Because if you meet him where he's at, well, you're gonna be running outside, and he's gonna cut back because he wants to go. Any running back, and ask any running back you know, they want to cut that stretch back, right? They want to find that crease and bang their head off the goalpost. Hell, the Cowboys made a living off of that with DeMarco Murray. I'm trying to think who else has made a living off that. I can't think off the top of my head right now, but a lot of people have made a living off of that because they're waiting for someone to over pursue, a D tackle to get cut off, and the end to go up the field, and boom, cut up field. Now we're on the safety just like that, and good luck. So on a snap, obviously, again, I have the B gap. Now, this is a balanced formation, right? So you don't know where it's going to go. The offense is not tipping their hand on which way they're going to go, right? It's 12P, right? There's two tight ends, one back, Y off, right? So some call this deuce close, some call this ace off, right? There's different terminologies to define this formation. Regardless, they're not tipping their hand. They can go left, right with the same amount of power. Now, one way you can dictate where the offense goes if you're playing someone who's truly playing the game off of football knowledge and not just by the seat of their pants. We're light somewhere, and it's to the left, right? The offense is left, defense is right. Where we have our shade and our really, this is, you really could call this like a loose 9. That's two open gaps, right? We got the C area open, and we got the B gap open. We're pretty light, right? So if I'm on offense, I'm probably going to flip this to the left because you go to the right, they got an overhang, they got a 3, they got the backer in the A. We don't have numbers over there. The numbers are to the offense's left, defense's right. So knowing that, what you can do, if you could either shift them right here and y'all can sit there playing tag, they'll just flip to play right, or you could keep it here and just shift your line. Stunt your line that way, right? So now that shade who is lined up in A gap, he is going to take over the B gap. He's going to try his hardest, right, to take over that B gap. Now the end he's still same job. He's contained, he's forced. But now what gap we have? We have that C gap. We have this C area right here, right? So obviously, don't be a robot, right? Understand, read where the offense is going, where the running back is going, but just know if all fails and you get in your gap, that's the gap to go to. So on the snap, I don't know which way this ball's going, but I'm going to keep the line stunted, and we're going to read the running back, right? Read his flow, read where he's trying to go, right? So they chose to go left, right? Defense is left, offense is right. Where I told you we have numbers. So if they go that way, you should be happy and proud, right? Like they weren't smart. They went to where we have the numbers. Shouldn't get any yardage, right? Here, boom. Understand blocking schemes. If they're running stretch away from you and you're on this backer, that tackle is trying to come dig you out. He's trying to go beat you to the spot. Go beat him first. He's trying to cut you off. If he cuts you off, imagine if you cut off and this backer's flowing here, right? Guess what? And this guard cuts off this shade. Well, guess where the crease is? You guessed it. It keeps making me click on. That's the crease right there. And buddy, that safety's going to be pooping shitting his pants, shitting bricks, because that's speed on him right now that he was not ready for, right? So what we want to do, we want to get over the top. Boom, that lane is cut, right? That's cloudy. He's not going to go in that lane, right? He sees opposite color, not going in that gap. It's not happening. I promise you. And if he does, he's just trying to stick it in there and get any yards he can get because he can't keep it front side because the tackle's getting his ass whooped. Is when I say the safety of the curl flat is secondary force. Because if he sees that, boom, come join the party. Come on, join that party, right? Now, obviously, for this video, I flipped the stretch. So I know it's going to the offense's left, my right. But I just want to show y'all what it looks like when you stunt your D-line, right? Say you don't know it and you're weak on this side of the ball. You want to stunt your D-line to where you think the run might be going, right? Because now everybody's gap is changing post-snap, right? There's pre-snap reads and movement and post-snap. Pre-snap is if I just shift them over here, right? But that would be tipping off our hand. The offense, they could switch the play. I want them to think they have numbers over here, right? Because I could dictate what the offense does, and I want to post snap stunt them, right? So like I said earlier, now this shade is becoming the 3 tech, right? He's stunning to a 3 because on the snap, he's going to shift or stunt and try to cross this guard's face and really ultimately cut the whole thing off, right? Because I don't know if you've ever heard that. The 3 tech can set the edge, and you're probably like, Christian, what the hell are you talking about? But here, right, and now the 3 is going to become the shade post snap because he's going to stunt and try to cross the guard's face, right? The end, obviously you want to stay outside and contain. On the snap, watch the D lineman and watch how they move to where they're going to get to. Watch. See, on the snap, they're stunning, both of them. Right now, obviously as a stretch, these linemen are trying to cut them off, right? Because cutting them off creates lanes, right? We have nowhere to go, right? The shade is now, he's doing his job, right? He got cut off, but get back upfield. Get upfield. Don't run on scrimmage. He's doing his job. We got to fit off him, right? We got to go. We got to get, this is one of those ones I told you earlier. If you don't know, get in your gap, right? My gap now, after the stunt, is now that C area. We need to get in that gap, right? Do your job, right? It's one of those things, you just did your job. You did your job, you made it cloudy, because what you want to do in a stretch, you want to make this thing string out as far as possible. Don't let it cut back. Let him keep riding the wave, boom. We got what we want. We got an unblocked man on the running back in the backfield. All he got to do is make the play. Seems simple, right? No. Here, I'll show you a power play, a gap scheme play, right? Guard pulling, center blocking back. And you're probably wondering, why am I only doing that at cover 3? Just, if I know someone likes throwing the ball, that's what I'm going to get in. There's other things you can run, but cover 3 to me is the most efficient. So that's what I'm showing y'all based off of cover 3 looks, because it's just easy to learn off of that, understanding gaps, assignments. Other run defenses that are good, I like cover 4 to run defense as well, because the safeties are sitting at 10 to 12 and they're flat-footed. And if they read run, they're triggering downhill ASAP, right? But that's for another video down the line. Right here, I don't like this look, right? Because again, they have a tight end off in the C area, a tackle, and a guard, all outside of my shade, right? And so it's really just me, the linebacker, and this end. I don't like that. So if you see this, shift that line. This is one of those ones you pre-snap shift. I don't want to stunt to this because they're already going to block back. Get them boys over there. I want bodies over there because they have no power to the right side. If they were to run this ball to the right, they can run counter, but they're really running it. That's where our numbers are pre-snap. And this is why I love this game, right? Because it's almost like, for me, it's like virtual film, because this is how we really would talk about it, try to play it through in real football, right? So pre-snap, I shifted my line. So now I have almost a nose, right? He's a tight shade, right? Tight one, tight shade, perfect. Because now if that center wants to block back, he's right in his face, right? A good D tackle, he's going to drive that center's ass back and blow this whole play up. But here we have our 3 tech, loose 3, tight 4, however you want to call it. And when I say 3 or 4 or shade or 1, that's just the technique they're playing, right? A 3 tech outside the B gap, outside shoulder of the guard. A 4 is usually head up on the tackle, and a 5 is outside shade, right? That's just the shades of the D lineman. So on the snap, right, we didn't stun him, so he's still going where he was going to go pre-snap before I shifted him, so he's going inside. Honestly, you'd really want him in real life to attack this tackle. Don't chase. There's no need to do that, right? But it's throwing off their blocking scheme, because this guard, in reality, they'd probably come try to double team this, dig this. He'd probably try to dig this 92 out, right? And then, but again, he has no one to block, so he's blocking air. It's a video game. It's not perfect. But when you see that tackle go down like that, as a backer, you got to come trigger down here right now, right? That's what I did. Immediately trigger downhill, because that tight end's coming to get you. And they're going to try to kick this end out with this backside guard. As you see, he's going to kick him out. Again, it comes back to that fence. Let's create the fence. You got to get down here right now. Boom. This backer has no business running down here. There's nothing, like, obviously you see this, your color crossing face. You don't need to run this gap, right? What he can do is come down to this gap, right? Real football, that's what he's going to do, right? Like almost getting like a real football film session, right? Which is great, but in real football, go and get your ass right down through here, right? Because now we're outside. Boom. We're boxing it in. Boom. Boxing it in. Hey, but you fill this up, we're good. But look, this running back didn't think he had enough room in there, right? It was cloudy. A real running back's probably going to try to cut that in there. But anyways, the video game, he jukes out. Perfect. He's just right into our help, right? DN keeps his outside shoulder free. We're good. Tackle him. TFL. It's a little funky, but you want to just keep it cloudy, right? The fence is open, but a gap scheme is going to look kind of funky, right? But just do your job, right? Come downhill, squeeze him in there, right? So now the running back really has nowhere to go because we're squeezing him down there. I mean, we're driving him in there. He bounces outside, TFL, tackle for loss. That's what we want. So when y'all playing these cats and you're trying to figure out how to stop the run, right? I just showed y'all two pretty primary runs a lot of people run. Inside zone, stretch, and then I just do a power gap scheme play in there just for extra credit, right? But understanding your gaps, who has what gap you have, and who's going to block you is really the biggest factor in stopping the run. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and always drop in the comments what you'd like to see next. I'm checking out.